Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wandering Artist Podcast. I'm Casey,
I'm Steffi.
and this week we are having a non week 12 episode. um,
Yeah. We had an eventful week. We had I wanted to do this episode because we for the past 2 weeks have had a lot going on, and I wanted to incorporate how we're using the artist way to move through these hard moments. So this is just like a little quickie episode just explaining what we did and giving inspiration to anybody out there who also has had, holiday moments with family, or maybe their cat almost died. Foreshadowing. um, yeah. And
yeah,
how the artist's way helped us move through that, or what we learned from the artist's way. Not the artist's way itself, but what we've learned from it and how that's helped us navigate this situation.
yeah.
Yeah. We're still in New Mexico. How do we even start this?
I don't know.
Well, Momo's alive, but he went to the vet the other day, and he was diagnosed with feline leukemia and FIP, feline something parasite, whatever. It's something. I can put it on the screen. Because I can't remember it. But basically, we went to one vet because his tummy was super huge, and then we went to another vet, and the emergency vet was like, "Yeah, he's not gonna last the week." And here we are, 3 weeks later,
Yeah.
and he is doing so much better. He got special medication from Stokes Pharmacy. If your cat has FIP, please look into getting that cat medication. And if your cat has FIP and leukemia, which is really, 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 really rare, look into getting your cat treated for FIP because sometimes the leukemia test is wrong. We don't know that yet. He still might have it. And so that was happening. And that was really intense and heavy.
So we were going to do week 12, and then all of that got thrown out of the window,
Yeah.
including our routines,
Yeah.
including morning
Everything
pages.
got thrown out. Well,
Yeah.
it became make my cat survive. It was throw everything aside, do the everything possible to make sure that he survived and lived and was comfortable. So that means, feeding him myself with a syringe, wiping his butt,
Mm-hmm.
feed, I don't know, he drank water on his own pretty well, but we moved our bed so he could get on the bed. Like, we can go on and on about it, but the thing that plus family during the holidays is challenging for a lot of us, especially those of us who are not only neurodivergent but queer, specifically trans. There's a lot that goes on there, and there's a lot of people saying they want to help and saying they want to support you, and then they do basically everything that's not supportive. So all of that was happening, and we were
Mm-hmm.
like, we need to do week 12. I think 2 days ago we thought of this, and I was saying, like, we need to do week 12. I really want to finish this, but I'm having these feelings that I've already failed, and I'm
Yeah.
having these thoughts that I, you know, with the position we're in, because of how much it costs to make sure that Momo lived, we're in a different financial position now. Oh,
Hello.
oh, there you go.
Anyway, we are in a different financial position than we were prior to emergency vet visit and expensive medication. So
Mm-hmm.
we had like plans and intentions for how we would approach like working once we came back to the US, and we've had to kind of change our plan a little bit with that, which is fine.
But in that moment when we were talking the other day, I felt almost ashamed, and I was like, damn, I'm like so sad that I'm like breaking a promise that I gave myself of how I wanted to work and what I wanted to do. But then I had even more thought about how I could feel instead, or how I could like choose to look at the situation instead. I know that both of us hate that feeling. We hate, when it's that voice that we talked about where it's like, you failed again, you didn't do it again, here you are not, succeeding because you didn't finish it or whatever. And all of us have that voice. But we were chatting about it, and at one point I had this thought of, well, if I'm not in a position where we're financially stable, I can't create anyways. If I don't feel safe, I can't create. And
Mm-hmm.
so instead of it being, here's all the ways that I've failed myself, it was, how can I be gentle and help myself, help us feel safe so we can be creative? Because we've talked about this in episodes before, like creating from a dark place isn't sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Creating because you have to isn't enjoyable. So why push ourselves to create something? That's why this episode's gonna be a mini one and we haven't started week 12 yet. But like, why push ourselves so hard to do something like that if we can just take a step back and focus on healing and helping ourselves? Because we're not doing this because it's a job. We're not doing this because we have to. We're doing it because we want to,
Right.
and that's something I needed to hear that from myself specifically. But I kept coming back to this feeling of, oh yeah, the point isn't to, you know, put on a plaque on my wall saying I finished the artist's way, or put, it's not meant to be this milestone. Really, it's meant to be a lesson. And how can I use those lessons to help myself now, because I know that I won't be able to feel creative until I feel like I'm grounded.
Mm-hmm. It connects to like Maslow's hierarchy of needs and how
Mhm.
we need to like have our foundation first, and what we also mentioned in a past episode of like our I like part of our ideal job situation is like we do want to have that kind of stability in order to create,
Mhm.
but not necessarily be like a 9 to 5 thing.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's the other thing where it's, we've already told each other in that other episode, both of us feel better when there's money coming in somewhere else. Like, I still have my hopes and dreams of what I'd like to do. But I also recognize and understand that it takes steps to get there. So yeah, we're going to get you into grad school and we're going to make it happen and we're going to do everything we've dreamed of. And there's no race to it. We don't have to be going as fast as we can. And that's something that I've had to look at a lot this week. Not this week, the past 2 weeks of, am I failing if I'm not doing everything I can right now? No, because I'm trying to survive right now. And I can't create if I'm not surviving. I
Right.
can't go to dancing classes if my cat might die. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I can't, I can barely play music or listen to music if I'm not upset.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. And that's kind of like it. That's all I really wanted to say is we're
Mm-hmm.
using these things that we've learned and choosing to put those, put our safety and our comfort and grounding ourselves ahead of.
I feel like it's I feel like it's important to bring it up too, because I don't think that it's mentioned anywhere in the book of like when external circumstances get in the way. And that's a very like, I don't know, it's something that I feel like
It's very real.
it's very real and it should be talked about and normalized.
Absolutely.
Um because that's I think I might have mentioned this before, but that's something that I see on the Reddit thread a lot is people like starting it and then life gets in the way and they only get like 1 or 2 weeks into it and they
Yeah.
drop it for a while and then pick it back up, and like
Yeah.
it is like it is a lot of work.
Yeah,
It
it
is.
is. It really is. It's almost like schooling in a way.
And because so much of it is like that deep internal work, you know
Mhm.
it's like pretty challenging. You can be kind to yourself in those moments, and um know that it's okay to come back to it at a later
Mhm.
time, and that 1 week, like week 12 doesn't mean that it's 7 days and then you're done. um it can be 2 weeks or 3 weeks or however long it takes.
Mhm. I think a lot of us feel this because it is structured into weekly formats, and she does give, like, this is every week all these things have to happen, and what did you do this week and what didn't you do this week? I feel like a lot of us feel almost guilty, like not only ashamed but guilty when we can't keep up or we miss something. A lot of people, I'm very proud of everybody on Reddit who goes from week 4 and it takes them a month to get to week 5 or whatever. Like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck yeah. I'm so glad they kept going because a lot of people just give up. And that's also really fair. And like, we're, if it feels like a failure, it feels like a failure if we don't follow this format. And that's why, like, with what's going on, I'm going to be, I know that, there's only 10 people who really listen to this, but for the 10 of you who care, it will not be once a week that we're posting, maybe once every 2 weeks or once every 3, depending on our situation, because I need more, especially when I start working, like, I need a little bit more time to put together ideas and for us to like get on this and not feel stressed out by it, but feel excited by it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I really want, is to feel excited about what I'm doing, and that's the whole point.
Right. I think that's why we were both hesitant to, like, I mean, we dropped the ball on week 12, but then we were also hesitant to make another video because, like, neither of us want to, like, show up and talk about it if we're not really feeling it, or if we feel like that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that internal shame or guilt of not doing it in the way that we feel like it was maybe supposed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and neither of us want to show up to this inauthentically, you
Yeah,
know.
we both want to show up, and that's why our mood and vibe is a little lower. You can tell Momo's energetic as fuck.
My theory is that Momo got so sick that he is now on his second of 9 lives, so he's become a kitten again.
Yes,
Like, since we got him his medicine, after like a day or two, he really just, you said he started acting like he was as a kitten. I
he
didn't know
was.
him as a kitten, but he's like, he has different personality traits that he did not have prior to getting sick. So,
Yeah, you're not seeing it right now, but his tail has been like up. And he wasn't able to jump on our laps even a little while ago. And he like wants to play, and you know, it's just really nice to see him act like a kitten again, and I think it's going to help Obi and Momo's relationship a lot. So, you'll probably hear a lot of updates about that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else there is to say other than like we're doing things differently. We're taking things one day at a time, and we're prioritizing our mental health in a way that I think I've said before, but this is like different. I'm like, instead of being like, I'm prioritizing my mental health, and I'm trying to do this thing, it's mental health, our security and safety and groundedness, and bottom layer of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and then we'll start exploring and doing more.
yeah.
But I don't know when we'll start week 12. We have a lot on our plate the next few weeks. With Momo being sick, it's a lot of like doctor's visits. There's just a lot happening, and that's not a bad thing. And there's lots of good coming too. There's basically, I can tell now that we were meant, the universe in every single way intended us to be here when we were, because if we weren't here, Momo wouldn't be here. He would have died. Like,
Yeah.
point blank, period. If everything didn't happen the way it did, he would be dead. Um, and I'm very grateful that the universe turned out that way, even if it means there's like some not so hot things happening. But um, yeah, I'm choosing to learn and like find positives and find hope.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say really.
I don't really know either.
And I knew this was gonna be really short, but it's just like a little check in and a little hello, a little.
Yeah. We're still alive.
We're still alive. We didn't die. We didn't fall face the earth. And this way, it's I think 12 or 13 episodes that we've put out
Mm-hmm.
for 2025. So yeah, all is well. If we were on your Spotify Wrapped this year, assuming that you have Spotify, which I don't want you to anymore, but like if you do, because we're figuring it out. Okay, um, let us know if we were on it. I bet there's only 2 people who have that, but just in case, I don't know.
Do you have any thoughts, Obi?
Momo, any thoughts, baby? He's trying to be pet by it. Okay, well, yeah, that was the episode. That was the
That's
episode.
all for now.
Thank you for listening, and know that you're not alone when shit happens, and we're all just doing what we can. We're all just humans doing our best.
Yep.
Keep working on what you can and take time for yourself. The whole point of this book, there's a whole bunch of whole points of this book, but one of them is to take care of yourself first, because that's when you can truly create and truly be yourself, and that's what feels best. So keep doing that.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2026. Say bye, Momo. Bye.
Bye.